Romantic comedies are supposed to be comforting. They're supposed to be fun, dramatic in a safe way, and maybe, if they're doing their job right, make you believe in love just a little more than you did before. But every now and then, a rom-com comes along that isn't really about romance or comedy. Instead, it's about something else entirely. Today's movie is Relationship Goals 2026, an Amazon MGM romantic comedy starring Kelly Rowland and Method Man, based on the real-life self-help book by Pastor Michael Todd. And while it's marketed as a glossy Valentine's Day rom-com, what it actually delivers is something far more complicated. A workplace rivalry, a faith-based relationship sermon, and a feature-length advertisement wrapped in a love story. So let's break it all down, from beginning to end, and talk about what Relationship Goals is really trying to say. The movie opens by introducing us to Leah Caldwell, played by Kelly Rowland. Leah is a high-powered television producer working at one of New York's most successful morning news shows. She's smart, polished, ambitious, and very clearly someone who has spent years building a life that is tightly controlled. Leah believes in plans, she believes in structure, she believes in earning what's yours. And most importantly, she believes she's about to get what she's been promised. Her boss is retiring, and Leah has been explicitly told that she's next in line to become executive producer, the first woman to ever run the show. This promotion represents everything: validation, stability, and proof that all her sacrifices were worth it. At the same time, the film establishes Leah's approach to dating. She's single, emotionally guarded, and famously picky. Later in the movie, we'll see that she literally has a multi-page list of green flags for potential partners, ranging from the very reasonable, emotional maturity, respect, to the borderline absurd, a 401k, perfectly groomed nose hair. Love, to Leah, is another system, one that must meet her standards or not exist at all. Just when Leah's life seems perfectly aligned, the rug is pulled out from under her. Instead of giving her the promotion outright, the network announces a trial competition. Leah will have to compete for the executive producer role against a new outside hire. And that hire? Jarrett Roy. Jarrett is played by Cliff Method Man Smith, and he is not just another qualified industry professional. He is Leah's ex-boyfriend, the man who cheated on her years ago and shattered her trust. Jarrett comes with credentials, experience in nightly news, confidence, charm, but emotionally, he represents a past Leah has carefully locked away. The decision to force these two into direct competition is morally questionable at best, but the movie treats it as a quirky rom-com setup rather than a workplace HR nightmare. From the very beginning, tension is high, but not romantic tension. This is resentment, hurt, and unresolved pain. To determine who deserves the promotion, Leah and Jarrett are assigned to co-produce a Valentine's Day segment for the show. And the theme? You guessed it, relationship goals. Jarrett insists the segment should center on a book that, according to him, completely changed his life. The real-life book, Relationship Goals: How to Win at Dating, Marriage, and Sex by Pastor Michael Todd. Jarrett claims he's different now, spiritually changed, emotionally evolved. Leah does not buy it. She sees the segment for what it looks like: a puff piece, a commercial disguised as journalism, and on a meta level, she's absolutely right, because that's exactly what the movie itself becomes. Still, she's forced to work with Jarrett, and the film positions this as the beginning of an enemies to lovers arc. But here's the thing: Leah is not interested at all. As the movie progresses, Leah and Jarrett spend more time together. Working meetings, studio rehearsals, travel mishaps. There's even a moment where they get stranded in Oklahoma and have to drive several hours to another airport together. In a traditional rom-com, this would be prime material: long conversations, emotional breakthroughs, unresolved feelings bubbling to the surface. Instead, the film rushes through it. We get one short car conversation, one weak joke about diner food, and then, just like that, they're back in New York. The movie keeps setting up rom-com moments and abandoning them, never letting scenes breathe long enough to develop chemistry. Leah remains emotionally closed off, and Jarrett's attempts at redemption feel shallow, largely because the script never forces him to truly confront the harm he caused.
As the story unfolds, the film begins to shift its focus away from romance and toward faith-based messaging. Pastor Michael Todd appears as himself repeatedly, offering guidance not just to the characters but to the audience. His book is referenced constantly, sometimes subtly, sometimes painfully directly, right down to characters talking about buying it on Amazon. The core message is clear. Date with intention. Stop wasting time. Trust God's plan. Let go of control. Leah's friends, Brenda, Robin Feed, and Treese, Annie Gonzalez, serve as examples of how the book supposedly works. Brenda has been stuck in a long-term relationship with a professional athlete who won't commit. After engaging with relationship goals, she suddenly finds the courage to walk away. Treese, perpetually single, decides to start dating with intention. Their arcs resolve quickly and cleanly, reinforcing the idea that the book offers easy answers to complex emotional problems. Leah's real struggle isn't Jarrett, it's control. She believes that if she plans carefully enough, demands enough, and protects herself enough, she can avoid pain. But the film argues that this mindset is holding her back from love, from faith, and even from professional fulfillment. There's a pivotal moment near the end where Leah looks at her printed list of relationship requirements and finally tears it up. Symbolically, this represents her letting go of standards, expectations, and self-protection. The movie frames this as growth. Whether the audience agrees is another matter. As Valentine's Day approaches, both the professional competition and the emotional tension come to a head. Jarrett fully commits to the faith-driven message. Leah softens. The film positions forgiveness as the ultimate breakthrough, not just forgiving Jarrett for cheating, but forgiving life for not going according to plan. Leah ultimately chooses vulnerability over control, faith over certainty. And yes, rom-com rules apply. Leah and Jarrett reunite romantically. The promotion resolves. The lesson lands. Relationship Goals ends not with a sharp joke or an earned romantic payoff, but with reassurance. The reassurance that waiting has a purpose, singleness isn't failure, faith will guide you where logic can't. Kelly Rowland has said she hopes women, especially around Valentine's Day, will see this film and feel encouraged rather than lonely. And that intention is genuine. But intention doesn't always translate into execution. At the end of the day, Relationship Goals isn't really a rom-com. It's a faith-based relationship manifesto wearing the costume of a romantic comedy. There are strong performers, a polished production, a genuinely great soundtrack, but the film never commits to being funny, romantic, or emotionally honest enough to justify its runtime. Instead, it asks viewers to surrender, just like Leah does, not only to love and faith, but to the message itself. And whether that works for you depends entirely on what you came looking for.